Today on Family Matters.
It was more of a shock because we thought she was on drugs.
And he passed away as well, did he not?
A little while after that, yeah.
So literally your family, basically, within a matter of weeks, doubled.
Yeah.
The reality is that you feel like you want to throw in the towel. And that's not an option here, not from what I see. Because you're sitting there giving Michael an option to leave and he's not going nowhere. He's here. You've come this far. I'd be damned if you're leaving here without being able to talk to one another.
Ethan, you gonna play your list? Come downstairs, please.
I feel there's no bond between Dad and Ethan. I trust Steve and, everything, even all the way through the pregnancy, but the minute he was born, I just wanted to hold him and didn't want anyone going near him.
You have a husband who wants to bond with his son.
Yeah, I do. I really, really do.
You are a grown woman and no one can hurt you. And Ethan is with his parents who love him.
Yeah.
The show, my first guest, Emma and Michael, contacted the show for help after their family of 4 became a family of 6 almost overnight, after Emma's sister and her sister's partner both died. Emma and Michael welcomed nieces Cherry and Olivia into their family home to live alongside their very own family.
I'm quite calm tonight, considering. No! Cherry came to live with me and Mike after her mum passed away, and it was about a month me and Mike stepped in and took Olivia on because her dad had now passed away.
To be a father of 2, to be a father of 3, even a parent alongside with Cherry, I thought it was okay.
I didn't want no more children, and now it's like I've got triplets. They're just running me ragged. If there could be 10 of me, we'd be all right. If I'm not dealing with Cherry, I'm having another fight and trying to deal with Olivia.
I think that Alfie bullies Olivia because maybe she's the outcast, or she came in and this is my territory.
Ellie's just a quiet little sweet and innocent, really. When we first took Cherry on, everything was okay.
And Cherry can argue really bad with each other. I think all 4 of them in the house, they fight us. They ask us for things. If Emma don't give them, then they ask me. If I don't give them, then they ask Emma. They play us off each other. I think Olivia and Cherry gets more of our attention than what our own kids do because we know that they're not ours.
Everything gets slammed and smashed about when they're angry.
It's been quite a strain, really.
So it's just at breaking point at the moment.
Welcome. I'm glad you're here, Emma. Welcome, Michael. Really pleased to have you both here. So take me right back to your sister, because obviously, your family dynamic has changed. Tell me the story of what actually happened.
Well, somebody was phoning Mike's phone.
Yeah.
My mum's mobile, actually, so I thought, what's she phoning you for? So I answered the phone.
Yes.
And it wasn't my mum, it's a police officer. So I've just hit the roof, what's going on, where's my mum? Obviously, they couldn't put my mum and dad on the phone to me and asked me to go up to my nan's.
So when you got up there, you were greeted by who?
Just a police officer at first, because I went straight into the kitchen door was shut, and my mum and dad was obviously in the kitchen. So we went straight into the living room. It was my nan we sat down with the police, and they said, it's your sister. And I just thought then, I just looked at them, I said, is she dead? And they said, yeah, really.
What ran through your body at that moment? At that moment when, regardless of the fact you knew she was on drugs, you'd heard that your sister had passed away and you knew...
Well, no, that's why it's more of a... sorry, a bit upset.
Okay.
It was more of a shock because we thought she wasn't on drugs. And she went up to Andover for just a weekend away. She didn't take the baby. So it's more of a shock. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. It's good to talk it. Good to talk it out. It was a shock for you because it was your sister.
Yeah.
It was your sister. It must have hit you like a ton of bricks when all of a sudden you realise the reality is that the kids could well end up with yourself.
Well, that same night,
being looked after.
Olivia's dad came and lived with us for the first night.
Yes.
And he left us looking after Olivia that night.
Off his face.
He became off his face. He started taking his prescribed drugs just to get out of it. So within an hour and a half of him coming to our house, he had a drink, had a couple of tablets, and he was out for the count.
He was out for the count.
And Olivia was wide awake, and we were just left to fend for her.
But he passed away as well, did he not?
A little while after that, yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, your family, basically, within a matter of weeks, doubled
Yeah.
due to the circumstances. And now you were left to say goodbye to the sort of old life and
Yeah.
a rude awakening thrown
yeah.
into the deep end with your new family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No more fishing, no more golf.
Well, let's see what that's like. We've got some more footage here.
Olivia, come and sit. Olivia.
Olivia is now free. She could be happy 1 minute to all of a sudden screaming and crying.
Every day she tells me that Olivia's, I went off on one again this morning.
Off of that, please. Leave that.
If she kicks off on one in front of me, then it's either to the stairs or upstairs to the bedroom, and then I calm down.
She has called me names and Olivia is swearing at me. She's just totally different temperament to my 2 children as well. Alfie, it's like he thrives off the screaming.
With me, please. Hey, Alfie!
He'd constantly terrorise her and smack her all the time and bully her.
He means to do it as well. I think it's because he wants to hear her cry or moan.
He's very boisterous. He's so hyper all the time. Out of my fridge, please. He's always up to mischief as well. Ellie's definitely best behaved out of both of them. Regarding Cherry, after a couple of months started to change.
She doesn't come in on time.
Does what she wants, when she wants, constantly always wanting to put up a fight, wanting to argue with us. She started getting into trouble at school, having fights with people.
She wants something, she can't get it, she goes off on one.
It's either Cherry's way or the highway. And if it don't go our way, then my kids are witnessing her mood, slamming my doors, booting things, smashing things. She's treating me just like there's no respect for what I've done for her. It's all take, take, take.
New life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a handful. Tell me about that.
I used to think that I used to be able to be a good dad to the kids, but now I just keep on having to go at them all the time. Tell him no, 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 all the time.
I tell him to back off from Cherry, give her a break. And if Alfie's screaming, I can't deal with the screaming and the tantrums. So he blames me and we get angry with each other because he wants to feel like he wants to step up.
Cherry knows how to play us. She knows how to play it. And she doesn't care what she says. She doesn't really care what she does either. She's no limits with her. We're not her parents, so therefore, why should she listen to us?
Well, let's take a look at some videotape of Cherry at the house.
Emma gave Cherry the option whether or not she wanted to live with her dad or live with us, and she chose to live it with us.
The things that I find hard about living there is like my little sister, because she always kicks off. Sometimes they're a bit oh, now she's kicking off. And the little kids.
No, stop now.
Because they're little rats. And my uncle, because we're not that close anymore, because we always fight and argue.
She will just push his buttons, wind him up and just run rings round him. So I've got to be here to constantly try and keep her in control.
I don't want to be too mean, or if Cherry bucks her ideas up, there's no reason why she can't stay here, but she has got her own dad as well.
And I get annoyed because like my auntie, she'll say that we go somewhere, and then because there's something wrong with the kids, she won't take me. But I know there's something wrong with the kids, but she shouldn't stitch me up.
Because obviously with the age group, Cherry's crying out for my attention, and then I've obviously got the 3 babies.
Well, I'm going to be even longer then if you can.
It's just really hard to obviously, Cherry feels left out.
Cherry, I can't hurry up.
Can't expect me to leave Mike with 3 kids.
I go mental and I kick off and I scream and I shout. And then I'll just start crying about everything. And I'll kick stuff and I'll slam doors. And throw a cup of water down the stairs before. After I get angry, I feel like quite bad. Because in case I woke up the kids or something. I think me and my little sister need some help. And maybe my auntie. My auntie is like my mum. And I have my dad, but like, I would love to have my mum, if you get what I mean. But I'd love to like, I don't know, but I just want a proper normal family.
Yes, you done it.
tough to watch.
Definitely. Because I know deep down she cares. There's, you know, she ain't had no help to how she's feeling, or... That's why I do discipline her, but it's just to know there's reasons. It's got to be why she does it, because, like he said earlier, they was really close. Mike and Cherry was really, really close when she moved in. And then all of a sudden he's feeling like, well, what's he done wrong? Because she's just treats him like a piece of dirt. She just don't care how she talks, and she don't realise. So I don't know, something's happened, you know, Martin, to her, to the way now she's treating him, because it wasn't like that in the beginning.
That was tough to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Because sometimes you do forget about her feelings, and she has got feelings. But, you know, you can't bring her mum back. And we are all she's got, so we just got to keep on.
Still to come on Family Matters.
The reality is that you feel like you want to throw in the towel. And that's not an option here, not from what I see. Because you're sitting there giving Michael an option to leave, and he's not going nowhere. He's here. I had a chance to catch up with Cherry earlier on, before, obviously, we've been sitting here talking, and I'd love you to be able to see what Cherry had to say. So I'm really glad you're here, because I wanted to catch up with you and just kind of find out from yourself the things that you feel I could do to really help you.
Yeah.
How do you think I could help you with your family so that it would be in a place that you would feel certainly a lot more comfortable with?
Just want to talk to them about everything, like a normal person, like you would do to your mum. Because like wherever like my mum put together, just want to talk to them like I would do to my mum.
Yeah, so you talk to your mum about different things?
Yeah.
Right, OK. Just like girly things, you mean? That's going on at school and stuff, or just stuff in general, like your mates and stuff?
Yeah, everything that you would talk about your mum to. Generally, just talk to them about anything. Like if I need to tell them something, like they don't really, like, they've always got the kids there screaming and shouting, like, so I can't really tell them nothing.
So finding the time then?
Yeah.
You never feel like there's an opportunity where you can go, Emma, can I talk to you about something?
Yeah.
She's basically saying exactly what the pair of you have been feeling. Not being able to have that time, feeling like you've been very torn, but desperately wants to feel a belonging, to have you guys, you know, as family, be there for her as her role models, you know, as her parents. How would you like to connect with Cherry more, Michael?
Spend some more time with her, get to know her properly, ignore all the bad things that's gone on in the past and the way she speaks to you, and just to get a happy child back. That's it.
When she's gone through such a major, complete life transition from having her mother, being able to talk to her mother, to losing her mother, I mean, there's no two ways about it, that she's still going through that grieving process, just like you are, you know? And there's many stages through grieving. You know, you're at that place where you're feeling very angry right now. You know, you've gone past the denial. You know, you understand that your sister's not coming back. In that stage of anger, of why me? Why have I been left in this place?
Yeah.
You know? But certainly, Cherry needing to feel that she can really have a foundation that allows her to have that nurturing, that parental guidance, is what's going to be able to bring her through as well. The team came to your house, right, and asked you both how you were feeling about your own relationship, and I'd like you to take a look at that, please.
I'd like to have a better relationship with Emma.
It just feels like we're just friends.
By the time things are finished in the evening, kids are in bed, we've bathed, and we sit down on the sofa, watch TV, then we're in bed, we don't even talk.
It's like there's no relationship there. We've both got our jobs. There's no time for us to.
And then it just becomes a norm. And that norm becomes a problem because we don't know each other anymore. And we're not happy.
Cuddle time and things like that would normally be when it comes to bed. Now, I can't even do that because my two, Ellie and Alfie, they get up in the night and they come and get in bed with me and Mike. Our relationship's just totally gone downhill, really.
It's also been given to me by Emma that I could pack my bags and go, this is not your responsibility, all these extras, and you can just worry about your own kids.
If he felt like he can't do this, then he's got that option. He can go.
And I thought about what happens if I do go and stuff like that, but I don't think that it's me. If I have to go, it'll be actually me being kicked out, not me leaving on my own accord. And the kids comes first.
If nothing happens and we can't obviously sort these children out, then I can't see mine and Mike's marriage surviving.
No one's talking, and you know I'm going to say that you're going to have to start talking. Michael, what do you need from Emma? Because right now you're in a make or break situation. What do you need from Emma?
Just her time. To be honest, it's probably me not giving enough to her.
Tell Emma, what do you need? This is difficult for the two of you, isn't it, right now?
Yeah.
To be able to
It's
just...
lost, it's gone.
Give me your hands for a minute. Let me link you. Just to be able, to be honest, to tell her what you need. And you've come this far. I'll be damned if you're leaving here without being able to talk to one another.
Yeah.
What do you miss about Emma? What do you miss about Emma and your relationship that right now seems to be lost?
She used to be able to come to me and cuddle me and stuff. That doesn't happen anymore.
You want cuddle, you want love.
Yeah.
Affection.
Yeah. I always pick the wrong moments to give her affection. She always pushes me off. She's always doing the washing or stuff like that, or doing something else. And if ever I give her attention, it's not the right time. But there was never a right time.
What about yourself? Do you miss being held? I mean, what do you miss?
Yeah, the cuddles, yeah, all of that.
You're both missing the same, the attention, the love, the affection.
We've got no attention for each other, no.
You're on the same
not.
page when it comes to what you're missing from each other.
Yeah.
You're missing that love, that intimacy from one another.
Yeah, feels like there's no time though. Feels like there's no time for that with everything we're already dealing with.
When I look at your family life, what's happened is you've gone out of total balance with respect to your structure and your routine. And in order to have the little ones that you do, right, you've got to be able to run a tight ship. You have to be able to run a tight ship. You've got to recognise that with toddlers, they have certain body clocks. They wake at a certain time. They need consistent meal times. They need outlet for you to be able to be creative with them, but at the same time, let them run off steam, you know, to use that energy up. And when you don't talk and then you get angry, the reality is that you feel like you want to throw in the towel. And that's not an option here, not from what I see, because you're sitting there giving Michael an option to leave and he's not going nowhere.
No.
Right? You know, every time you're pushing him kind of out the door. You don't have to stay. You don't have to stay. I mean, I don't blame you if you go. He's not going nowhere. He's here. So the two of you have got to make this work. You've got to recognise there's so much love between the pair of you. You know, you love each other. You know? I mean, look at you. You're upset. You're emotional right now.
Yeah.
Why?
I remember the last time I cried, to be honest.
But why? Why is it stirring that emotion? Tell Emma why.
Because I know that what we could have isn't there. We have got... I could see where our downfalls are, and we don't have that time. We need to make time.
When you come together and say, right, together as a force, this is what we're going to do, so that we're on the same page, the kids will follow. The kids will follow. It's just become so magnified for you that you're allowing that to take over and throwing in the towel.
I feel like I can do more now. That I feel like I'm ready to step up. It's time to be a mum. I know that they need my attention now. I know
It's about coming together with a game plan. It's about the pair of you being a force together and recognising that, quite frankly, you have this wonderful, it's admirable. You know, it really is. You have this wonderful opportunity to come together and really say, look what we can do for these children. Look what we can be for these children, you know? Look at the role models we can be, the influential parents in their lives that make a difference. And not just for the younger ones, but for Cherry as well, to know that she can come to you. Yeah. To know that a teenager can come to her parents and say, you might not like what's happened, but I actually feel I want to talk to you about this. That door will always be open. That she feels that she can come to you. What do we do today? What do we really do today so that when you guys leave, you look forward to tomorrow and the next day and the next day? What are you both going to commit to each other?
A game plan.
We're going to be there for each other, for one. Support each other, whatever we put in place, and don't let it beat us, really.
Here's the thing. It's about your relationship. It's about your relationship. No relationship makes it harder for parenting. It's as simple as that. You're not feeling loved, desired. You want cuddles. Come on. You want cuddles. You want some attention. Right?
I think so does she from me, though. That's another thing as well.
Sorry?
So does she from me.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, you both need that. You're in a relationship together. But to be able to give each other that time means that you have to come together as parents first to be able to carve out that time. And there is that time. There is that time. Trust me, there is that time. So you come together knowing, you know what, we need time for ourselves because it makes us stronger as a couple. And when we're stronger as a couple and we're giving each other what we need, we can do this together. Automatically, you've shrunk what you felt was a concern and issue. You've shrunk that by 10. Doesn't seem so magnified. It doesn't seem like you can never reach it. Now you can taste it. What's your idea of a normal family? What's your idea? Everyone says, I want a normal family. What's normal for you?
What's normal? No one's normal.
What's normal for you? What's your ideal?
I want the kids to listen when I'm telling them no, not to go in the fridge. I want a routine put in place so they know when it's breakfast, when it's lunch, when it's dinner, when it's bath time, when it's bedtime. And in between, when they're fighting and whipping shreds out of each other and going in my fridge to say think they can just do that, they've got to listen. They've got to be able to listen to us.
You on the same page?
Yes. But when I discipline the kids, then they want mum because they know that mum's good cop.
OK. So you hear what I'm saying here? I'm hearing that we've got a dad who's trying to implement discipline and a mum who's undermining that. You have got to be on the same page. Tell me today that you will agree to go home tonight and say, right, what are our issues? OK, Alfie's sleeping, Olivia kicking Alfie and screaming, making sure we are both in agreement with what that discipline will be and both allowing each other to follow through with that, making sure that we can sit down and take time with the kids and give them the attention they need, carving time out for Cherry, making sure that we can put a structure and a routine in place, because that's what you both need to commit to doing today in order for you to have exactly what you want. And it's not impossible. Is it hard? Yes. Yes, of course it is. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's not. It's not impossible, though.
No.
I can tell you that much. It is not impossible. And you're about to prove that to yourselves, because I have to say that I feel it's absolutely admirable that the pair of you have been thrown this circumstance of such a tragic situation, and you have both come together as we would expect any family and have taken your family's children in. And at the end of the day, it's about those kids. It's about those kids. It is. Don't let the fear of what might be, Michael, but start recognising about what you do want. I want you both focused on what you want. Tonight, the conversation starts like this. What do we want as parents? Now, what's the game plan? Now, let's follow through.
And stick to it.
Do you want it?
Yeah.
Do you want it?
Definitely.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Then show me you're both in. It was so hard for the pair of you to talk.
Yeah.
I'm hoping you can just talk and come together with your bodies. Give each other a hug, for God's sake. Seriously.
Still to come on Family Matters.
I feel there's no bond between Dad and Ethan. I trust Steve from, you know, everything, even all the way through pregnancy, but the minute he was born, I just wanted to hold him and didn't want anyone going near him.
Welcome back. My next guest, Vanessa, contacted the show for help with her 7-year-old son, Ethan. Vanessa has concerns that husband Steve hasn't bonded with Ethan, and she feels Steve treats Ethan differently to their 2 other children, and this is putting a huge strain on their relationship.
My name's Vanessa. I've been married to Steve for 2 years, been together for 11, got 3 sons, Ethan, Joe, Connor being the youngest. I feel there's no bond between Dad and Ethan.
Ethan, you gonna play on this? Come downstairs, please. You gonna play then? Yeah. Ethan.
It's causing a lot of problems within the family.
Well, I'll send your mother up then, yeah? Ethan, where are you going? I'm scared. Why?
The language from Ethan can be quite awful and spiteful.
Ethan, can I have the photo, please? Do not rip it. But don't rip it, please. Don't rip it, Ethan! Why are you ripping everything? No. Right, enough, please.
I think Steve does need to step up and be a parent a bit more.
Go and see what he's doing. Make sure he's all right.
I sometimes feel that there is another child in the house.
What?
It's upsetting the younger ones, and I'm just getting to the point now where I feel having to make choices between son and dad.
No, he won't play.
He won't play? Well, what's he doing? Steve, where are you?
Well, I'm playing with Ethan, but he went downstairs.
Well, he said because you're playing with Connor and not him.
No, he was he wasn't even in here.
It's making life miserable.
Welcome, Vanessa. I'm pleased you're here. Take me to how long and when you first felt that protection over Ethan. I mean, when did you first realise that you were behaving in this fashion?
The minute he came out, that was it.
Right.
My trust just went completely. I trust Steve from, you know, everything, even all the way through pregnancy, but the minute he was born, I just wanted to hold him and didn't want anyone going near him.
And where did that come from? Not wanting to hand over, like where was your trust broke?
When I was a child.
Right. Okay.
When I was a child, I had my trust taken away from a past, an abusive past that I had.
Did you seek help for that? Did you turn around and speak to Steve and say, look, you know, this is happening to me, and I know it's happening.
Steve knows my past.
Right.
And I think this is where I think he's given up because now he's used to it, but I think he stepped back because he knew how my past was and worried that if he stepped in, he might dodge the bullet, if you know what I'm saying, cause more ruck than what I've got going on through my head and that. So he kind of like backed away quite a bit and let me just get on with it. So
he out of respect, Steve said, you're feeling this way, I'm just going to let you do your thing with the little one and I'll just step back. So in consideration of much heart and love for you, he stepped back, and yet that created a bigger problem.
Yeah, which is him not bonding with his son, not having the chance to do the things that dads are supposed to do.
Give us a picture of that. I mean, what's it like with Steve and Ethan now? I mean, what's it like? Yes.
It's horrible. Seeing them, Ethan's such an angry little boy, sad. I feel like he's crying out for Steve, and Steve's crying out for him, but I also feel that they both have given up on each other. And it's like, they just don't go on. It's like a bombshell waiting to go off.
There's no bonding.
There's just no bonding. There has been a couple of occasions where they've sat there and they've really gone on. I just look at them and I think, why can't this be like this all the time? And then 2 minutes later, straight back to the way they were. And it's horrendous. It's heartbreaking, really, seeing dad and son being like this.
Yeah, understandably. Let's take a look at some tape.
It's not your fault!
Why is it all my fault?
My name's Steve. I'm married to Vanessa. My eldest son, Ethan, found it very difficult to bond.
Right, Ethan, come on, please.
Yeah.
Ethan, don't throw things at me, please.
9 times out of 10, Ethan will not listen to me, no.
You gonna play then?
Yeah.
Ethan.
It's not until he got older that you really noticed that there's a problem.
You help! I don't want Dad to be my dad anymore.
Ethan.
Come on, Ethan, come downstairs, come on.
It's not your fault!
You keep saying it, and they keep ignoring you. Come downstairs, please.
No.
Why not?
No.
And he'll keep doing it, and he'll just get frustrated.
I don't want to.
But I'll send your mother up then, yeah? And then I'll say to Nez, you sort it out. Nez! Yeah, I want you.
I tried to do my fair share when he was a baby, but wasn't allowed to.
We just had no bond together, and it just feels like sometimes we're not even related.
It's a sign and a half. Welcome.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Welcome. Nice to meet you too. Can you explain to me so that I can get a picture of what that feels like as a father of two anyway, and then having your eldest knowing for the best, standing back and not, just feeling compelled to want to be involved with your newborn, but not?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It was at the time. Now it's got to the stage where we just don't get on. He just one word and he becomes very aggressive and angry at me, and it can get very emotional times with him. You know, I just want to help him, and he just won't let me in.
But what you really want is what?
What I really want is to be able to talk to him and to help him and to calm him down.
Discipline
but
him more.
Not so much discipline him. Not for a long time, no. But I think I did in the early days.
Feel free, because I think now.
I just feel very like I'm not given a chance with him. Like I have to basically ask permission to sort of, now it's just got to the stage where I just can't. Yeah. I can't help him anymore, and it's very frustrating and upsetting. And I don't say nothing because I love you.
So. Me shouting down, yeah.
Why is that? I mean, explain what it is that you believe you need from Steve in order to feel like you can step back and not feel like you've got to keep protecting Ethan.
I think because you're argumentative with Ethan, and Ethan's very argumentative with you. And I've said this on many occasions too.
We're both very stubborn.
Don't fuel the fire, walk away. Tell him what it is and then walk away, but it doesn't.
Yeah, that's one of my worst.
They've both got to have the last say.
I know that is one of my worst attributes. Is I won't walk away. I'll just keep going until I feel that the situation is that I'm happy with the situation.
And when Ethan loses his temper, like, what's the worst he'll do?
He's hit me. He'll swear at me. He'll
horrible names.
Yeah, he'll say nasty things. He'll get very.
Nasty things go back. Yeah. Sometimes nasty things go back, which raises him even more. Name calling.
Just have that in detail. What do you mean?
Well, Ethan will call Steve something. He'll call him something back.
What? So you both swear at each other?
No, not necessarily. No, there'll be name calling, but not
name calling.
Not swear.
Name calling.
Not swear.
So you name call back?
They're both as bad as one
another. At your young son?
Yes, I do.
So you lose your temper?
Yeah. Emotionally lose my temper, yes.
So when you see behaviour from Steve that's really aggressive...
That's when me and him starts arguing.
Because that triggers the past. And that makes you then want to protect Ethan because you don't want him to be subjected to any of the verbal, any of the arguing, any of the bickering.
But
you don't want that.
No, I don't. But I also don't want my son giving him the verbal. It works both ways. I don't think that either of them should be. But being the adult, then obviously you need to come back a little bit and say, well, I'm the adult here. He's saying that he shouldn't be doing it, but I shouldn't do it back.
Yeah, I tend to forget who the adult is and who the child is.
Yeah.
How?
Because I don't do the adult. The thing is by walking, by not walking away.
I know, but why don't you? I just want you to see some tape because I'm puzzled when we look at this tape why you wouldn't do that. Let's just take a look at this tape because I had a chance to meet Ethan earlier. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Joe. Are you enjoying yourself here in the room? Yeah? What have you been playing with today? Just a few things? Yeah, just playing with the ship. So, Ethan, what kind of things do you like to do with Mum?
Make cakes.
Sorry?
Make cakes.
Make cakes. And what kind of things do you do with Dad?
I can't remember.
And do you spend time with Dad, going out to the park and doing things like that, or do you do it more with Mum?
Do it with Mum.
Do it more with Mum? Yeah. And what things would you do with Dad? That's all right. What kind of things would you like to do with Dad? Not too sure. So I'm going to go and see Mum and Dad soon now, because I'm going to catch up with them and have a chat with them. Is that all right with you? Okay, then I'll go off and do that. I'll speak to you later. Okay? Bye, love.
Bye.
He's 7 years old, right?
Yes.
When I went in to say hello to him, he couldn't give me eye contact. And I thought, well, maybe he's just reserved and he doesn't know me. But as I started to ask him the simplest of questions, that there was no eye contact to even respond to that. Yeah. He's very young emotionally. He's very, very young. I'm sure this isn't the first time that you've been told this. You know, I'm sure it's been addressed in school. Just his emotional growth.
Yeah.
And the milestones that he should be meeting in his development have been arrested due to the overprotected nature and not allowing him to be able to reach those milestones and become more independent and more self-confident, you know, with what he should be doing for himself. And so it has him rather reserved, and the only time that you probably get to see this outward behaviour is when he's losing his temper and he's acting very aggressive.
Still to come on Family Matters.
You have a husband who wants to bond with his son.
Yeah, I do. I really, really do.
You are a grown woman and no one can hurt you. And Ethan is with his parents who love him.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you need from Steve so that you can feel okay with letting Steve go off to the park with Ethan and to bond and have time with him?
Show me trust. That you can bond with them. You can go out the house.
Define
and
the
I
trust.
know they're going to be fine.
Define the trust.
I'm just worried that if you don't get on, you're going to argue, he runs or something
Maybe
happens.
You need to.
I need to be
give him a
more
chance.
confident. Yeah, I do need to give you a chance. I do. Yes, I do.
You are a grown woman and no one can hurt you. And Ethan is with his parents who love him.
Yeah, yeah. I've got to
and
let
are
him go.
not hurting him. Do you understand how that's being projected onto Ethan?
Yeah.
Can we go to the tape, please?
I'd like to see a bond between my husband and my oldest son. I'd like to see a happier family.
I dread to think what the future could hold. That's what scares me more than anything.
With the past life I've had, where someone who I'm supposed to trust more than anything in the world took that trust away, I think this is probably the reason why I've put the kids in such a bubble and the reason why I'm so protected over them.
Mine and Nessa's relationship has been quite strained over the last 2 years, really, because there doesn't seem to be any break in it.
One, I've pushed Steve away, but most importantly, he's kept his distance because he's understand what I've been through. If the worst come to worst and the family comes to even worse breaking point, I would always choose Ethan over Steve as much as I love him because he's my son at the end of the day. I don't want to have to choose between the two. If it got too much, which is starting to get that way, then most certainly the marriage would be over.
I'm hoping that this will not be the end for this family at all.
I can't keep on going every day wondering when the next explosion's going to be or when the next tear's going to drop. And
It's quite upsetting to see that. What my wife just said on that screen. So, sorry. And I can only hope that I can. Well, not hope. I hope I will do better. And I will make sure.
Me too.
Yeah, and I will make more better effort with Ethan. But it just needs to a stage where I need someone to just guide me. I mean, to helping me understand and to control Ethan's temper more with some guidance.
I think you need to listen more, and I need to trust more.
Yeah. Yes. We need to talk more.
Okay.
How do you honestly feel with Ethan? How do you honestly feel not being able to have those experiences with him because of the circumstance? I mean, I'd love you to be able to take this opportunity whilst we have it here today, to be able to be just very open and honest with your conversation. Because I really do believe, Vanessa, hearing this, you know, is a start in you recognising the journey and being able to let go and understand. You know, you have a husband who wants to bond with his son. He wants to have a relationship with him.
Yeah, I do. I really, really do. I love the boy more than he's my first-born son, so I love him. I always will. I just hope from today we can have a lot more moments more together than we have.
You need to tell him that more, though.
Yes, I do.
You need to open up more to him, not just me.
Yes.
But to him too.
I do.
Just be goofy. You know, just be like goofy with him and like just be really silly with him. Or he's looking like, is that my dad? You know, just be like really silly around him. You know, and have fun and just let all your inhibitions down and just be how you are when you're in the house. You know, liven it up, have some fun. You know, with him. I know that, you know, there are things that you're going to need to do and he's going to need to listen to, but that's your way in. You know, he sees you being silly. You know, even if he doesn't join in straight away, he sees that you are approachable. He sees that at the end of the day, you know, you are the mature father that he can learn from, but you can be goofy as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, I think I can, yeah.
Somewhere we've got to find a sense of humour in you know, the everyday circumstances that happen when they get tough. We've got to find a sense of humour as well. The pair of you need to be able to do that because I think just creating those fun experiences in the house with the kids, get to see that mummy and daddy being really silly.
Yeah.
You know, they're being really goofy.
Yeah.
And it just allows them to recognise that the respect is needed. You know, when you're asking them to do things and you're putting the boundaries and the rules in, but at the same time, they've got to be able to see they can have fun.
Yeah.
You know, piggybacking them around and pillow fighting and, you know, wrestling around. They've got to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What
do we do moving forward? What are we going to do moving forward here? Because, you know, you're both kind of fumbling around each other. It's like, well, I know you need to do this and I kind of need to do this, but it's like you're walking on eggshells with each other. What do we say moving forward? What are our A, B's and C's? Like, what are we going to do when we leave here and go home tonight and we're all in front of the kids? What are you going to make an effort to do? Personally, what do you feel you need to learn from this experience and do when you get home?
Trust more. Spend more time with the kids.
Yeah,
as a family. Open up more.
Open up, you both said that.
Be more fun with the kids. Take a lot more active role in having a bit of fun and trying to... And get the trusting bond with Ethan that he trusts, and then when he'll see that he can the bond that we got the bond that he'll understand when I'm being fun and I'm not being, and then when I'm being serious.
Exactly. That's exactly what you want to be able to do.
Yep.
You know, and then at the same time as well, you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
You know, you're enjoying the ride of parenthood as well, right? Otherwise,
Yeah, we was off the track a little bit, haven't we, with it?
you know, you
see the fun bit.
you have a strong relationship, but circumstances brought you to a place of wanting to control everything, you know, and become very protective. And in doing that, you really did shut out Steve, you know, and of course that projected anger went on to Ethan, and it shouldn't have done. It was where you kept closed, you know, in fear of what the ramifications would have been, you know, with Vanessa. Had you have been more open about that circumstance, maybe that would have been a reality check for you. But that's why we're here today.
Yes.
You know, to give yourselves the opportunity to recognise that so that we can go home and make those changes. So tell me you're going to do that, please.
Yes, definitely.
And stick to it.
Definitely.